Hello and welcome to the second part of my Norfolk Microadventure. In this video, I'll be exploring Sheringham and taking a trip on a steam train on the North Norfolk Railway. First of all, we stopped off to look at this clock tower, which was built on the site of the town's water supply and was also the site of the town's stocks. Just opposite is the Camellia Cottage Cafe, which, like a lot of buildings in Norfolk, has flint on its walls. Flint is hard stone and weather resistant, so it's ideal for the local coastal climate. And these napped flint walls are a local tradition. One of Sheringham's famous residents is Alan Smethurst, famously known as the Singing Postman. He was born in 1927 in Lincolnshire, but grew up in Norfolk. He worked as a postman in Norwich, and in his spare time he wrote and sang humorous songs in the Norfolk dialect. He sang about everyday life with gentle, quirky humour. His most famous song was Have You Got a Light Boy? Released in 1966, the song became a surprise hit, even charting nationally. Sheringham Station was originally opened in 1887 by the Eastern and Midlands Railway, later becoming part of the Midland and Great Northern Joint Railway. The station was the terminus of a coastal route that connected seaside towns to inland cities, bringing with it waves of holidaymakers during the Victorian and Edwardian boom in seaside tourism. The original Sheringham station closed to regular mainline services in 1967 as part of the Beach and Cuts, although a new station, still in operation by National Rail, was built nearby. In 1975, railway enthusiasts helped restore the original Sheringham station as part of a Heritage Railway initiative. Today the station looks much as it did in the 1950s, with heritage signage, vintage fixtures and volunteers in period dress and uniform. The North Norfolk Railway is affectionately known as the Poppy Line. The route is named after the poppy-strewn countryside it passes through, particularly striking during late spring and early summer. The railway operates a combination of steam locomotives and heritage diesel engines, often pulling vintage carriages from the 1930s to the 1960s. The Poppy Line runs through picturesque countryside, coastal views and woodlands, offering a nostalgic and immersive experience in the golden age of railways. There are 4 stations on the Poppy Line: Sheringham, where we were going to depart from, Weybourne, a charming country station often used for filming, Kellingheath Halt, a request stop near a nature reserve, and Holt, our final destination, a recreated station built in traditional style about a mile from Holt town centre. There's often many special events here, like steam galas, 1940s weekends, beer festivals, vintage transport days, photography days and Santa's special trains. The NNR is largely operated by volunteers, many of whom are railway enthusiasts, engineers and local residents. Their efforts have made the Poppy Line one of the UK's most respected and best preserved heritage railways. The railway is a major attraction in North Norfolk, drawing tens of thousands of visitors annually. It supports local businesses and helps keep Norfolk's rich railway heritage alive. The railway also produces its own beer and cider, so we stopped for some refreshments before boarding our train. The steam train we were going to be riding on is called Hercules, and it's one of the most iconic locomotives associated with the North Norfolk Railway. It holds a special place in the hearts of railway enthusiasts and visitors alike. Hercules is an industrial saddle tank locomotive built by Andrew Barclay and Sons, a Scottish locomotive manufacturer, in 1927. Originally built for industrial use, Hercules was designed for heavy-duty shunting and hauling tasks in confined industrial areas such as docks, factories and steelworks. These locomotives were known for their robustness, power and ability to handle short, sharp gradients and tight curves, perfect for the tight confines of industrial rail yards. After years of industrial service, Hercules was withdrawn and later preserved by enthusiasts, and eventually found its way to the North Norfolk Railway, where it was restored and returned to working condition. We finished our drinks and we boarded the train. We certainly felt like we were stepping back in time, with the polished woodwork, the seats and the sash windows that you can open. Then, with a whistle and a burst of steam, the engine slowly pulled out of the station, chuffing through the level crossing and the bridge, leaving modern Sheringham behind. As the train built up speed and clattered rhythmically over the tracks, we retreated to some stunning views. Just after leaving Sheringham, we caught views of the North Sea to the north and the Norfolk Cliffs. But there are also golf courses, fields with grazing sheep, hedgerows and the occasional old windmill. As you say goodbye to Sheringham, look out for the poppies that are along the trackside. As the train cuts through fields with grazing sheep and hedgerows and the occasional old windmill, you'll spot more and more of these beautiful red poppy flowers. The tree-lined cuttings and the heathland are rich in wildlife, especially vibrant during spring and summer. After about 10 minutes, we arrived at Weybourne Station, which is a picture-perfect rural railway station surrounded by pine trees and countryside. And we stopped here to pick up some more passengers. You can also find many railway enthusiasts on the platform trying to snap photos of the locomotive as it breathes its steam into the summer sun. And you can also briefly glimpse the locomotive depot and the sheds here where the restoration work is done. As you ride the train, there's the smell of coal and hot oil drifting through the carriages. And the gentle rocking motion and the steady beat of the engine create a calming rhythm. And as you ride upon the railway, passengers wave from passing footpaths and bridges, and the crew always wave back. If you're lucky, the driver might blow the whistle at one of the bridges or crossings, which is always a thrill to hear. A ride on the North Norfolk Railway is not just a train ride, it's a living experience of history, nature and the romance of steam travel. The final leg of the track winds gently uphill through fields and woodland until you arrive at Holt Station, about 20 to 25 minutes after departing from Sheringham. I loved looking out the window and feeling the wind in my hair as I looked at views of Norfolk. There is something about being a passenger on a vintage steam train that just makes me feel like I'm stepping back in time, and it's such a relaxing journey. As you pass through the nature reserve area, you might even see rabbits, deer or birds of prey as you pass through this untouched landscape. But then, finally, we arrive at Holt. So join me in the next video where I'll be exploring the William Marriott Museum. Thank you for watching and see you on another video soon.